As most of you know, it's a very, very special event for all of us. Turning 28 for me is a very, very big deal. And for Kelly and Bateman to schedule their wedding at the same time as my birthday and invite all their friends and family here, magic. Thank you. All right, it's about me. Obviously, they knew it happened. But, all right. If you don't know, I'm Kelly's best friend, or I like to think I am her best friend. Kelly and I met freshman year at NYU, Hayden Dorm, 5th floor.
Woo!
Both of us exceptionally cool in our own ways. I wore gecko shirts, and she wore sweatpants from head to toe.
Yeah!
It's true. Each pair stained with a different strain of guacamole, hot sauce, or mustard. Armed with a jar of peanut butter at all times, Kelly and I still operated under the delusion that college was about academic pursuits. Each Saturday, we'd be housed in the lower levels of Bope's library, alongside the feast of vegan snacks we've stockpiled from Space Market. This was the last year that we ate. By sophomore year, we began to discover what it meant to be cool in New York City. And by its close, we had a very, very long list of things that we could never touch or do. Short list, number 1, eat pasta. Rice, wheat thins, noodles, potatoes, beets, honestly anything that had sugar or carbs in it. Why? Because complex carbs make you really fat. 2, drink any type of beer unless it was free and in front of us and we could forget our vows. So, thirdly, leaving the apartment before 1 a.m.? No. I mean, no one really cool gets there before like 1 or 2, right? 4, reading anything besides New York Mag, New York Times, or The Gothamist. Because it wasn't a fact unless the New York Times did a study about it and we quoted it to each other ad nauseum randomly throughout the day. And lastly, as we all know, only wear black. To be honest, we were ridiculous, but we were ridiculous together. In our world, it made total sense. So, obviously, there's tons of stories I could go into. I do have a couple, won't dive into all of them. And none of them are too sweet, don't worry, but they tell the side of Kelly that I know and that I love. So, and they all kind of express a certain quality about Kelly. Number 1, she's thrifty. Anytime we go to a bar, she leaves a sweater, a jacket, a purse, whatever. If it's 2 blocks away, she's not gonna go back and get it the next day, she'll just go buy another one. It's true.
It is.
Modest. I'd come over sophomore year, Friday nights with a bottle of wine. We'd drink a bottle of wine, we'd get dressed up, she'd put on mascara, eyeliner, only thing she really wore, black dress. Then we'd take photos in front of the mirror for 2.5 hours, just ourselves. And then spend 2.5 hours reviewing those photos, and then go to bed. That was her night. And don't forget, she's very caring. One year, while getting ready for Halloween, I dressed up as a Central Park roller skater, and she dressed up as the Hamburglar. Don't worry, Kelly, not that story. Julie, she lived with Julie and Kelly, and they were, to put it mildly, a mess. They were a little disgusting, but I can't say that word. I was told not to say that word. They're just a mess. And they left, and a little forgetful, they left their hot hair straightener in the middle of the apartment. I'm walking around barefoot, step right on it, scream as loud as possible, have a blister all up and down my foot. I go up to her, I'm like, Kelly, can you please go get Band-Aids, anything. And she goes, I'm busy, I'm getting ready. I hop 1 foot to the grocery store downstairs, come back, I have all the stuff I need, I'm putting it on, and the first thing she says to me is like, that took forever, are you ready to go? So, and then lastly, the last story I have about Kelly, whom I love you so much, you know, is she's honest and hardworking. Kelly and I lived in a beautiful, wonderful apartment in Paris together. I mean, by the end of the year, I was destroyed. It was disgusting. But while we were there, we were, again, a little bit of a mess, a theme here, and there was a bunch of dishes that would be in the sink every single week. Callie would clean them, I would clean them. Just come along to Kelly's turn. Kelly, resourceful, honest, hardworking person she is, she'd do one dish, maybe two, and then she'd take the rest of the clean dishes that are in the cabinet, put them on the rack and say, look, I did it, done.
Yes, you did.
Sure. But my point of all this is Kelly's magic. This mischievous little spark that she has in her eyes, it draws you in. It makes you feel like she has this whole other world or secret that she's only sharing with you. And then after she shares that with you, it's just you and her dancing, and the whole world's around you. As I said, she's my best friend. So. Okay. Enough of that. Back to making fun. So things started to change. Okay. Honestly, I don't have a great story about how Kelly and Bateman met. To be honest, I'm not even sure I remember. But all I know is that one day Kelly stopped hanging out with me as much. Along comes Bateman after our Paris extravaganza, junior year, and first impression, to be honest, well, I hated the guy. So, his lanky arms, bouncing around all over the place, grinning wildly at everyone and everything, it was annoying. I mean, I go, excuse me, hello, I'm right here. Attention. But, nothing ever separated them. And so that kept going on, and I was like, Kelly, be Kelly with me. And then one day, Kelly and I, we got in the one fight we've ever only gotten before. I mean, except in Paris when the toilet exploded, thanks to Kelly, all over my bed that was on the floor, and I come to Kelly and go, hey, can I sleep with you guys tonight, please? It's disgusting, it's soaking wet, it's filthy. They go, you're smelly. So, aside from that, this is the one fight that I ever remember. Remember distinctly, we're going over the Williamsburg Bridge, going into the city, reaching the peak of it. We're talking about something, I don't know what, and then all of a sudden, the conversation tumbles into an argument. We're yelling at each other, we're fighting, just truly screaming at each other. I've never done that before to Kelly, and she just finally turns to me and goes, you don't get it. I love him. And it just hit me, the car went silent, and I got it. I really, really got it. This, his goofy, unflinching grin, his 9-minute musical performances, his rapid fire bouncing around by himself, dancing on the dance floor, or leading a group of us. This was the guy for her. This was the guy that she loves. And so then I started to get to know Bateman, Then I started getting to know Bateman. Bateman is unbelievably sweet. Every time I see him, it's always like, Eli, how's it going? Looking good, Eli. Pats me on the back. I'm terrible at accents, but anyway. He was his goofiness. He's unlike any person I've ever met. Bateman is confident, but not egotistical. He's intense, but slightly aloof. We all know that. But most importantly, he's incredibly passionate. His passion is infectious, and it makes any obstacle you think you had go away or seem insignificant. Honestly, you can accomplish anything. He makes your personal walls seem simple because he has a disregard for self-imposed limits, let alone external pressures. Bateman is a genuine man who inspires you to pursue the best ideas you have about yourself and to truly put yourself forward into the world.
Here, here.
Amen.
Yeah.
Last paragraph, I promise. Okay. When I found out they got engaged, obviously I screamed. Then I texted Kelly nonstop in Ireland. Then I texted my mom, Julie, Callie, etc., so on and so forth. It was just wow. I mean, they are the first of our friends to get married, and the idea of marriage was always this like distant future, and then all of a sudden it became concrete. They were like people are getting married years off, and then all of a sudden it's right now. It's today. The joy and comfort they bring each other is inspiring. They work. They fit. I mean, they each have their own eccentricities, obviously, but they get each other and they create something special together. So it's with a very, very full heart that I wish them the greatest future happiness together. I love you.